Hi, my name is Matt Kosterman. I'm a 56-year-old white guy living in Chicago, Illinois. For the first 50 plus years of my life, I didn't think I was allowed to be here. Not just here in Chicago, but here, on Earth, in a body. I suffered from depression for most of my life. I smoked my first joint at age 11 and had my first drink of Southern Comfort straight from the bottle at age 13. While the cannabis never really took hold as an addiction, I drank alcohol for the next 20 years, many times to excess. In 1998, I began psychotherapy, and in the year 2000, I started on antidepressants. I spent 12 years on them and 15 years in traditional talk therapy. Meanwhile, I built a successful business, became a father to 2 amazing girls, and rehabbed an old house in a nice suburb. I did all the things. In 2010, I went through divorce, foreclosure, and bankruptcy. Fun times. After much flailing about, I got my head on straight in 2015, only to begin experiencing severe chronic pelvic pain along with fibromyalgia. I spent nearly 3 years in the Western medical system trying desperately to heal. In 2018, out of money and out of patience, my healing journey really kicked into gear after my first magic mushroom trip. The years since have been an amazing and challenging ride. I've traversed the physical and not-so-physical worlds and been fortunate to work with many, many talented healers. As a result of all my efforts, I now find myself in a place of receiving, contentment, and prosperity, the likes of which had eluded me for most of my life. There's a man named Daryl Anka who channels a being called Bashar. Bashar describes the process of engaging with a healer, that of giving yourself what is essentially a permission slip to move towards wholeness, healing, and right relationship. This podcast is an effort to share some of what I've learned and introduce you to some of the people and ways that literally gave me what feels like my permission slip for existence. It's also an effort to continue to spread the word that the traditional Western medical system, while effective for a great many things, is not necessarily the be-all, end-all solution to every health problem, especially when the problem may be more spiritual than it is physical, as it was in my case. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, and do all the social media things that help spread the word. Share these links with people directly in your community. It is my sincere hope that you and others will benefit from my experiences. Hi, I'm Matt Kosterman, and we're back on the permission slip. Today I am here with Dominica Fisher. I'm going to let her tell you her title because I will surely mess it up.
Hi, Matt. So I am the director of Meditative and Creative Exploration at Bîan, which is a wellness club in Chicago.
Beautiful. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's great. So just a little of the backstory. I met Dominica because I joined Bîan, which is an amazing holistic wellness club for co-working and working out and concierge medical, if you so choose, in Chicago, right in River North. I've been a member for just a little bit over a year, and she actually took me on my tour. And
I was just going to say, so Matt Kosterman was my very first. I was stepping in for somebody that went on maternity leave, just for membership, just for a little bit. And he happened to be my first tour, and he happened to be also the first person that I signed up. So that was a really fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Dominica is also a photographer, which is what I do in my day-to-day. And so we connected on all the levels.
All the things,
yeah,
right.
Meditation and photography and all that stuff. So we're here today to chat about meditation and manifestation, 2 of Dominica's specialties.
Yeah, they are.
So not obviously, but you were not born into this particular lifestyle, this particular abundance.
Yeah.
Right? So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about kind of how it started?
Sure. Love it. So actually, no, that's absolutely right. So I'm the daughter of an immigrant Polish single parent. And it was just me and my mom. And then my grandmother ended up living with us too. So it was just the 3 of us.
So not only like a single mother, and not only like not a single mother and not an immigrant family, but a single immigrant mother, which is extra special.
It was actually it. And I will, I think you don't really understand what you have and compared to the rest of the world when you're a kid. So there were lots of struggles, but there was a lot of love. So that was that I really was lucky in that way.
Yeah.
And at the same time, as I started growing up, I realized how little we had. So my mom was a cleaning lady. She was trying to take care of her mother and her daughter at the same time. And now as I look back on my life, I truly am, from what we had to what I have now, there really is a big difference. And it is interesting to see how it all happened as you look backwards. It's so hard to understand how you're going to get somewhere. And then you look back and it's kind of fun to see the connect the dots.
Yeah.
The full picture.
So, I mean, you didn't have like the physical trauma and the emotional abuse that many have.
It's, I think, I mean, it's a different type of, I think the emotional trauma is in a different way of understanding. So my father was around, and my father was abusive to my mom.
Okay. Oh, so there was that. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't witness it. My mom kicked him out when I was 6 months old. However, I did have contact with him. And so it was just these little inklings of your father grabbing your ass when you're 13 years old and you don't really even know who he is. It's so it just moments of, I think. So I did not have a physical trauma or emotional trauma on a daily basis.
Yeah.
No, and I'm grateful for that. But I think I
didn't mean to minimize it.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying, like, I totally get it.
Because I didn't know that you had that element in there.
Yeah, he was so I did see him every once in a while, and it's an interesting thing to have a human being that is supposed to be there for you, and they're just not in any way. But you. Right, exactly. You figure it out.
You adapt.
Yeah, you adapt.
Yeah, and heal.
And heal. Yeah. I think that's, and I think the other part which is so fascinating, is because in the Catholic religion is such a big part of being Polish. I think there was an interesting space that I was in, because I, since a young girl, have had visions. I've heard voices. I've had inklings of knowing. And it was anytime I brought anything up, or anytime I even mentioned that I knew something that I wasn't supposed to know.
It's supposed to know, right?
Just whether it's about somebody else or whether about just whatever it was, the witchy, right? It was a lot of lashback that I received. And so I stopped telling about it. I stopped talking about it. And
you can't do that. You got to go through the priest. That's the only way to God.
Yeah, there's right. Yeah. And or it's not God, right? And so
so even worse.
So even worse,
even
right?
Worse,
so it's right. It's this is a demonic child. This is so it's not. And again, I very very quickly put it under wraps. So it's not like I was a constant there's the demon, right? No, not at all.
Sure.
But you have these moments where you know things or you've seen something, and as a kid you don't share it with anyone.
Yeah, which is trauma. Like you're not allowed to be the fullness of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were suppressed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's what got me into meditation, is really starting to, it was in my 30s. Okay. And it was in a space of, I was tired of having all of these experiences that kept happening throughout, not just, my childhood, but into college and so I didn't feel comfortable seeing a psychic. I didn't feel comfortable. Actually, maybe this was part of the trauma. I didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody about it.
Sure.
And so I decided that I'm going to learn how to meditate, and I'm going to learn how to tap into a space where maybe there is a dialogue with whatever was happening to me, versus just, because that's the part that was so hard, was I would have a vision, I would have something come through, but the data was so sparse
Okay.
that it was really confusing. I didn't understand a lot of times why, and then again, you have these like moments of like, okay, if this is happening, why is it happening? What is it?
Is there a purpose?
Exactly. Am I supposed to
do something
right,
with it? Like,
right. Yeah.
So you get literally like closed eye visions, like just sleep, napping during the open eye, like
open eye.
Okay.
Open eye to a different reality shifts, seeing different spaces, seeing whether you want to call it angels, whether you want to call it
guides, whomever, whatever you would, angels, guides, helpers, whatever.
And it is a funny thing I wish I were one of those people that it was really straightforward, but it was like a perfect example. I'm 7 years old. No, actually probably a little older, 9. I was walking a block home. Yeah, it used to happen when we were that little. And it was a suburb. And my friend's mom had given me $20. I put it in my pocket. And halfway there, I hear a voice. I turn around and it's a figure of a skeleton, but it looks like a pirate.
Okay.
But it was funny. It was really funny. And I turn back and start taking a few steps. And then it dawns on me like, wait a second. What was that?
It wasn't Halloween.
It wasn't Halloween.
It wasn't Halloween.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was warm outside. I remember that. I walk back to where I saw this apparition. I actually thought maybe somebody's playing a joke on me.
It was that real. I mean, it was a.
Oh, it was real.
Yeah,
it was. It was. Gosh. Yeah, it's hard to say what real means in the sense of, But walking back, it was like, did I see that? Did I imagine that? And I'm looking around and I literally look down at my feet in the grass. There's a $20 bill. And it was right where the apparition was. And I check my pocket and there's no money. And so I immediately grabbed the bill.
It wasn't like he was doubling
home.
it.
Right, exactly, right. So I run home. And so it was like those kinds of moments, like that was a very simple moment. Then there were other moments where I would find myself seeing a completely different reality while I'm seeing the reality that I'm seeing.
So like an overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those moments, I'm like, well, that's not helpful. That's not the $20 that I lost. What does that mean? Yeah. Why did that just happen?
Yeah.
Or there was a moment in my kitchen where all of a sudden my daughter is 3. She's on the ground playing, and I'm doing the dishes. My son is right next to me. He's 5.5, and all of a sudden I feel this intense sadness, and I know it's his, and I can't understand. We're all laughing. I'm like, why? What is this sadness that I'm feeling? And I know it's his.
No, it's not you. You have nothing to be sad about in the moment.
No, we're actually all just sitting and laughing. Like he's standing next to me. And within 30 seconds, he walks behind me, accidentally must have stepped on my daughter's hand. Something happened where she's crying so hard.
Okay.
And I can see, is devastated because this moment is like bad, right?
Yeah,
he just hurt his sister. We were just laughing. Whatever is going through his head. But in that moment, I knew, oh, that's what I was feeling. I was feeling his sadness 30 seconds beforehand. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's not helpful. What
do I do with this?
What do I do with this? Now
Yeah.
It was actually, that was the moment that I basically said, okay, fine. I'm going to figure this out.
I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah. Or tried to.
Right. And so that was what brought you into meditation.
Yeah. So I started reading books. I started trying it.
What was the first book that resonated? Did you have one that was?
Yeah, it was Sandra Ingerman's, what is her book? It's an audio book. What is it called? She does shamanic journey.
Yeah, I can picture a couple of, I have 1 or 2 of hers.
Yeah. So she, it's going to bother me if I don't find it.
Yeah. Did you ever read The Power of Now? Was that on your?
I have. I started The Power of Now.
Okay.
Actually, I actually love his story. The fact that he kind of had this breaking point where basically mentally broke down and spent, what was it, 3 months on a park bench, was just kind of in this space of.
Oh, like, I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah.
Just sort of hopelessness.
Yeah. No.
No. Just
his right before his break. So this is right. Eckhart Tolle is.
Eckhart. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right before his break, he was in a terrible space.
Oh. Right.
Ended up having a mental breakdown and ended up sitting on a park bench for, I think it was maybe 3 months, and was at awe of how the power of the moment was just so beautiful.
Overwhelming. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then started writing about it.
Got it.
Yeah. His story is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I read the book, but the story wasn't in there. But that was one of the first books that broke things for me. And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like there was a knowingness that it was true.
Yeah. He's okay. I'm finding
Sandra
this.
Ingerman. Yeah, I've got 2 of her books.
So it is called Shamanic Visioning.
Okay.
So, and what was so cool about that book was I had no idea about kind of what shamanic anything.
Yeah.
She does such a beautiful job of telling you what the practice is, and then within the audiobook, she gives you moments of drumming. So like 7 minutes, she'll tell you, and I believe I know the first one, but maybe even the first 2 journeys that you take, she guides you through them. And then she just says, okay, in this journey, do this. And then she'll play the drums.
Yeah. So it's not guided, but other than to take you in with the drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was this really beautiful way of, I think you're hitting on something. I was so afraid to share what was going on with me. So having that ability to take it in my own hands, not telling anybody about it, and just going through and
not having anybody project what they thought it was onto you.
Yeah. So the results from that, I was able to start journeying immediately. And now I was having conversations. I was having conversations with my power animals, with my healing guides, with my, actually, I won't call them healing guides. She's really big about not calling anybody a guide.
Okay.
Because that word in itself means that you are being guided.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so for her in that space, you have to have full autonomy. You cannot, you can if somebody's like, do this, but you have to understand that your life is the consequence.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was quick. And then it started.
You were wide open. Like you didn't,
yeah,
you didn't need much instruction.
No.
And
then it started to blend into reality, I think that was the coolest part, because then it really took me onto this path that I currently am. And I think the mission statement of my path right now is understanding how reality forms itself. I have now seen almost like the matrix putting itself together. I've seen the esoteric blend with actual physical. And so that's
behind the curtain, basically.
Yeah. And so that's the current goal, is this idea of, I see glimpses of how we are creating every single moment. Mm-hmm. I see glimpses of how reality reacts to everything around it. It has consciousness itself, and it is playing with you.
All this stuff
all of it.
All of the stuff that so many of the teachers are trying to get us to see. You were born into that level of seeingness,
I guess.
Yeah.
And
that level of vibration, basically.
Yeah.
Because we all have this capability.
We do.
And I've used drugs to see it.
Yeah.
I've seen it on medicine.
Yeah.
I've seen, the animation and the archetypes playing out. And I've seen how my emotional state causes reality to show up differently, and I can change my emotional state and reality changes.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. But so far I need drugs to do it.
Yeah.
I'm working on, not. which is possible. And everything so far on this path, as I've used the drugs or the body work or whatever, or shamanic stuff to take me to a different level to show me what's possible, and then work towards that.
Yeah.
So that was relatively quick.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
And then so after that, it was fascinating how the different types of meditations, what I could do. It was where one time I went in and I just allowed the intuition to take its course while I was meditating. I was actually listening to a Joe Dispenza meditation, but there was a really strong pull of, I saw little men in my brain starting to chisel away really like thick matter in there, and just going like, the meditation happened to be a long one of his like 45-minute meditations.
Okay.
I heard nothing that he said the whole time.
Once you dropped in.
Yeah. And I the whole time I was just watching these like little guys.
And hopefully they weren't
up.
Taking away anything that you needed.
Well, it was fascinating. I opened my eyes, Matt, and the world never looked as bright. And so it was this really, I realized, okay, we have this incredible ability to heal ourselves. And what's fascinating is so many times we don't even understand that there's something going on, because it's just become, this is part of my life. This is my life. This is what my life looks like.
Because we were programmed that way.
Yeah.
We were programmed to think that like it happens to us.
Right.
And we just need to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I woke up. I've never been so clear. I'd never been, the world literally looked more colorful. Mm-hmm. And so then I started playing with these ideas of, okay, well, what else can I do? What else can I do internally to start healing myself? And it's not that I even thought there was something wrong, but this idea of, okay, if I'm feeling under the weather, I immediately will go in and start talking to my body.
Okay.
And so whether, I don't know, maybe it is that, or maybe it's the orange juice. I don't know, right? Right? It's who knows? The
Myers cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But honestly, it's been such a fascinating journey of all that we can do through perception and intent. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the meditation took you into this idea of manifesting, that we are constantly, we're always manifesting.
Yeah.
Like manifesting has become sort of a buzzword, and you learn how to manifest. You don't actually have to learn how to manifest.
No,
you are manifesting right now.
You are.
Every billions of, like Bashar talks about, billions of a time, billions per second.
And that's the beautiful part about it is, and I think this is actually, if you just know that, if you just understand it, and it's so easy to forget, and it's so easy. I mean, I have another like fun story. I was, People's Gas showed up at my door one day, and there was a leak outside, and somebody was walking by my house and they could smell it, and they basically are like, hey, something's leaking. We have to come inside to see what's going on. Now, it wasn't leaking into my house, but it was a line that was actually, they had to knock down a wall.
Right. In your house.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I have like all these People's Gas employees coming in and out of my house. They're going downstairs. They're like, we have to knock down this wall. We have to get to this, like
a valve or something.
Yeah, exactly. To make sure, like, to see what's going on. So of course I'm like, okay, because I don't want to have my house explode.
You don't want to blow up.
Right, exactly.
Today.
Yeah,
right?
Today or any other day.
Right.
So it's, and I remember sitting in my kitchen, and I'm stopped myself from freaking out because it just all happened so fast and so I'm in this space. I'm like, okay, everything's okay. You're fine. You are not going to blow up. Everything's fine. They're fixing it. And getting a hold of myself, like a hold of my just emotions, and the was this first step. But then the second step, I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? How do you want this to end? How do you want? And so I said to myself, I want somebody to come up and tell me that they are going to create a panel for the hole in the wall that I have. If they ever have to access it again, that there will be a way for them to do that. Yeah. And then it'll be done. And, the whole thing will be over.
You could have gone and said, "Oh my God, my house is ruined,
right? Exactly,
and it's never going to be the same."
Of course,
right? And there's going to be a scar on the wall. Whatever,
right,
you could have gone to whatever story you wanted to go into,
exactly.
and you chose the story that you wanted to go into.
Exactly. And so, I could have yelled at everybody. I could have been like, "What the fuck are you guys?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead, I composed myself, and I really thought, what do I actually want, right? Not who do I want to get back at, not who do I want to, but what do I actually want out of the situation? Matt, 5 minutes later, one of the people comes up and he says to me, he looks at me, he goes, okay, we'll probably be done in about an hour or two. Would you like them to patch up the wall, or I can have a guy out here in an hour or however, whenever they're done, and create a panel. So if we ever need to access that, we'll be able to have access to it. I'm like, I'll take the panel. Thank you very much.
I'll take B for 100.
Yeah. But watching him say those words, those exact words that I was just thinking 5 minutes ago, was just this beautiful moment of, yep, you are creating it every single moment. Just remember to call out, what do you want? The hard part about it is when our emotions kick in.
Yeah, I was going to say, and relax into it, right?
Yes.
Because that's where, where all of a sudden everything closes down.
Right. It does. It does. When the emotions get, like, the story becomes...
I'm a victim.
Yes.
As soon as the story becomes I'm a victim.
Yes.
Is when it derails.
It derails because then you judge the circumstance, you judge the people around you, you judge yourself.
You judge yourself. Yeah. What do I do to deserve this?
Yes, of course. Yeah. And so... then, it all gets convoluted versus having a straight, what do I want? What do I actually want without, oh, poor me, or I'm angry, or what do I actually want?
Which is such a great thing because it's so personal to me because my work has been around what do I want? Because, and I'm sure growing up as a not wealthy immigrant child, you weren't allowed to want.
No.
I wasn't allowed to want.
No.
I didn't want to move 8 times, 10 times, whatever.
Oh, I didn't. We have that in common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to eight schools before I got out of high school. Oh. Yeah.
You have me doubled. Wow.
Yeah. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
But I remember I was in 6th grade and we were told that summer we were moving from Madison to New Jersey. And I said, well, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you want.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so you just, it's not even so, it's like being allowed to want. You're allowed to want. That's part of, that's part of the permission slip. You're allowed to want.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of programming that says you're not.
Yes. Yes.
And especially, great on you for doing it, in the moment of stress. I have a hard enough time just coming up with it like, what do I want for dinner?
Sure.
Or where do I want to go on vacation or what,
Yeah, but I had been training my mind for then, like that happened, I think 2 years ago. I had been a while where it was Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, when I started to really understand, okay, it is, the way you're processing the world is the way the world is showing up for you. So
process it differently.
Or just start thinking about how do you want the world to show up? Yeah. And then the process, it can be that way. Like, well, how do I want the world to show up? Okay, if I want the world to show up in that way, how would somebody that wants this process process the world? So you can go about it a few different ways. And I've been mind.
I know, like just joining the club here a year ago, and I've always had, not always, I've been, since I moved from the suburbs back into the city a few years ago, you got to pay for parking. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a thing
Right.
in the city.
Yeah.
And so you just get over it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise your life's going to be miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, joining here, and I was like, okay, well, I can walk sometimes when it's nice.
Yeah.
It's fine. But okay, I'm going to have to pay for parking at the lot.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just going to be what it is.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, there's valet. And I thought, well, I bet wealthy people don't ever think about how much they pay for valet parking.
Isn't that, yeah.
So why don't we test that out and see if we go broke? And guess what? I haven't gone broke yet.
Yeah. And you're parking right outside and not having to, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the car's right there. So just a small, thing, but it was a big thing. And
course.
It's still like, oh, I'm only going for this long. Should I just go across,
Right.
It's the old programming.
Yeah.
But the only way out of it is through it.
It is actually, it really is. And that's the other brilliant part about meditation. So the other beautiful part of being quiet with your thoughts and to truly not be able to not judge them and just go, isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
That just came through. And without deciding, do I like it or not, just seriously, continuously giving yourself, start with 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just, okay, fascinating. I felt that way, or I thought that way, and then after you're done, as those thoughts come up, it's really fascinating because the brain starts to go, isn't that interesting? Because you just did it 5 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes ago. You did it for 5 whole minutes. Every single thought that you had, you said, isn't that interesting? Without any judgment. And then that thought comes up again. And now in your waking life, you start to see it and you're like,
Right. Isn't that interesting? Like, where did it come from?
And even that, so Matt, I have stopped worrying about where it's coming from.
Right. And that was my point, was like, people think that they're going to turn off their thoughts.
No, God, no.
Right?
No.
And I sat for 10 days in silent meditation and never once turned off the thoughts.
No. Yeah.
The only time, Melissa Ford took me through a guided meditation once where the last thing that happened in my brain was a little serpent slithered out of the corner.
Amazing.
It went, and then it was just for like a couple moments.
Yeah.
It was completely quiet. I was like, I want to go back to this place.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten there yet, but that's okay. So I don't even question.
No.
The question was just like, they're not your thoughts. They're just thoughts.
They're just thoughts. And we hold on to them so hard.
Yeah.
And so, so then it started from, isn't that interesting, to, there's that thought. What if I looked at the situation differently? And then it started becoming, no, I don't like how that feels. I'm going to think about this way. And it's that whole training. And play. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because if you go in it with, why am I still thinking this? Why am I, trust me, now it's been a decade and there's moments where I find myself in a pity party and I'm like, okay.
We're going to do this for a minute.
We're here, right? Yeah.
And I mean, it's funny because I used to 5 minutes. That was how I started meditating as well. And I don't have a regular practice. I'm semi-regular.
I don't either.
But I remember, and I'm saying this for like the benefit of people listening. I remember how difficult, that was excruciating to sit there, either staring at a wall or staring at the inside of my eyelids for 5 minutes. And now I can drop for 30 minutes or 60 minutes if I'm so moved.
So actually, this is great. So for people listening that this is how it feels, I would, again, change your perspective. Give yourself, put some music on, whatever it is, or maybe it's a guided meditation, and think of it as rest. As I get to lie down for 10 minutes and it's good for me. Right. It's not, I'm not being lazy.
Right. I'm not being made to do it.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'm not. So, and this is actually really good for me. And so,
And nothing has to come out of it.
No.
Because I also used to meditate before I played tennis. Right.
Right.
And then I'd go play and I'd play like shit. And I'd be like, the meditation didn't work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
At least not right away.
Play. Oh gosh, play. Yeah. Play. See if you have a vision. See if you fall asleep. See if you or maybe get a little bit of insight about who you what those thoughts are.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this concept that we're constantly manifesting, and meditation allows us to begin to better direct the manifestation.
Yeah.
Which takes us into we've talked about this before. We we had a session together, the Bankston method.
Yeah.
Really manifesting stuff.
Manifesting
healing.
stuff. Yeah.
Material things, relationships.
Yeah. So for those, for your listeners, Bill Bankston, he actually just recently passed. Yeah. He has a fascinating book. It's called The Energy Cure. It is how he figured out his method.
Wild story.
Wild story. The book is actually just a story. It's a fun.
Not how to.
Yeah. That book ended up falling into my lap. I read it, was fascinated, looked him up, and he was having a workshop here in Chicago. I wanted to know what the method was, what COVID hits, and we were the first online workshop, and it worked great. It worked great. So this was during 2020 of I think March or April, and the method is that you write down 20 things that your heart's desire. They have to be completely selfish. So
not world peace.
Not world peace.
Right.
Unless you think that world peace is somehow selfish to you.
Okay.
Okay. So if we take the connotation,
take that angle. Yeah.
If you want to, and again, if we want to just also take the judgment out of the word selfish. So that it is not a bad thing to desire what you want. And so you write down, and why the other part about it has to be selfish is that it's a really tricky thing to energetically involve somebody else.
Yeah, so you can't want something for your mother.
You're right. Unless, let's say your mother is ill, and you write it down that you want her to heal because it'll ease your mind.
Okay.
Right? So it has to be in the selfish way it'll make my life easier if this isn't happening.
Well, sure,
which is
otherwise you're infringing on free will.
Exactly.
So it's all about free will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is. And so what's the beautiful part about the 20 items is I think any of us could write down 10 things that we want, whether it's trips, things that we want, right? Homes, whatever those but it's in the
20 was challenging for me.
Especially what you have talked about. For those of us that we're not allowed to want,
right?
All of a sudden you get into a space of, wait a second, I could want more. It becomes a really fascinating space. So actually, I tend to take that first 10 and yes, write them out, but it's actually the latter 10. And then it can be more than 20. So if you want to keep going, so it's that's where the juice is. That's where the stuff comes out of no, this I just want to experience what it would be like to, gosh, I mean, what are the things on my list, right?
Ski in Switzerland or
exactly.
Right, something like that.
Exactly.
Or catamaraning in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And those are just things and what's beautiful about the whole practice is when you start writing that, what starts happening to your heart center is because you start realizing, oh my gosh, there is so much more in my life that I still have the ability to go experience. There's still so much more. And you have to do this list without, so this is the other hard part, is without thinking, well, how the fuck would that happen?
Yeah, right. Let go of that. That's all right. It's 18 plus.
Okay. But yeah.
Let go of how or can it.
Yeah, exactly. Because then
the judgments. Yeah.
Right. Then it starts to become this well, that would never. Then you start to.
That story is there.
Yeah.
Which is where the meditation is useful.
Yeah.
To see the story.
But the God, for anybody listening, if you just want to have this really cool moment of seeing what your heart actually wants to experience in this life, do the list. It takes maybe 30 to 45 minutes.
Sure.
Just do the list. It's such a cool way of starting to understand, oh, wait, there's still this and that. And it can be little things. I've had on my list that I have a pen whenever I need it. And then, Matt, it makes those moments so magical because I will go, okay, where's my pen?
Boom.
And it will show up. It's so cool. It's so fun. And again, whether it's
Playful,
coincidence or not, who cares? Because all of a sudden that moment is magic.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then that maybe leads to that moment where you're like, I want a moment where my valet brings me my Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because
Exactly.
there's no difference. It's a reality. It's all energy.
Yes. Yes.
Consciousness is all energy.
It truly is. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's that whole practice. And then there's what Bankston, to go back to him, what Bankston talks about is if you can actually start to take your list and start seeing it, and then what you do is you start cycling through those images. So like, okay, you're going to think about the bungee
pen,
jumping, right?
The bungee jumping,
right, exactly,
the sailing,
exactly.
and then visualize it, do your best to feel it,
yeah.
right.
And so he starts to go as fast as this, like
just cruising through it.
So if you're, and again, all of that starts to create a massive amount of energy in the body. Mm-hmm. And what's fascinating is he's been able to heal with all of that energy.
Heal others.
Yeah.
Yeah. In big ways.
In big ways.
And as have people who have trained with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've gone to trainings, I've done some things, again, whether my ability to heal someone has worked or not, again, I will, and he says this all the time, whether it's the orange juice or whether it's the actual, who cares, but they got better.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing.
Well, that's the cool thing. The other cool thing is the man is an avowed skeptic. He's not a woo.
No, he's not.
And he's not, and he's a scientist. He was some kind of a professor in New York.
I forget where he
But
studied.
he didn't believe any of this stuff until he started testing it with graduate students on mice with cancer.
Yeah.
And they were healing 80, 90%, 100% of these mice with non-believing grad students doing this method.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
I know. Wild.
Yeah.
But, and Matt, on my lists long ago was the want to heal someone. And I will say, then my husband got cancer and I realized I never want to be a healer again. It was him that I used the method on. He is totally fine. Everything's great. But it was this moment of, be careful for what you put on that list because
you're powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful. And whether, I don't think that I gave him cancer in any way, but the moment presented itself to me. And I'll tell you this, I never want that moment again. I do want the Mercedes. I do want that again, but you know, it's these like, you start to see these things come in and you're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
This is, I didn't quite think this through, which is such a great, it's, the first part is that it works. And I think that's the bigger thing that now I teach here at Bîan is what's so neat about the lists and about doing it and is that the brain starts to say, oh, this isn't just some sort of like thing like that, oh, I'd love to go to Paris, if whatever it is. If you write it down and all of a sudden the opportunity comes up, the brain goes, that's on your list, friend. So you better start taking that opportunity because it's literally right here in front of you. So it's it's interesting whether it literally is just the brain pushing you to do it a little bit harder.
Sure.
Because it has actually been written down.
Because whereas before you might have been like, oh yeah, I said I wanted to go to Paris, but doesn't everybody?
Exactly. Right. Doesn't everybody. And so coming from this place that also has a bit of skepticism, even from everything that I've seen and everything that I've done, whether it's still that childhood, like, no, you're not that, that's not it. It's whatever that is, I still try and logically. So there's a part of me that's like, well, fine. If it's the brain just going, hey, that's on your list and pushing you a little further to go, then great.
Right. Or maybe it's the heart pushing the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They always, they talk about the king or queen must relinquish its throne.
Yeah.
Right. Where the brain is the king or the queen, depending on your gender identity, how you identify, but we're being led by something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we let it.
If we let it.
And it's not easy.
It is. That's the fascinating part is like, gosh, there's so many of us that have these moments of like, whoa. And then yet we find ourselves in the day-to-day of
this,
being led or feeling like our life isn't ours. So it's
simple.
And then it's not.
And then it's not.
Yeah.
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 So how do you incorporate, what are you doing these days with the visions, with the quantum field that you're seeing, with the things that show up? Are you able to, I want to say, control it or allow it more or use it?
So I love this question, actually, because I myself am trying to figure out still kind of what are the next steps? How do I...
Because it still shows up, the visions.
It still shows up. It's actually, what's fascinating is now I can't tell anymore because it used to hit me so hard.
Okay.
And I think now because I'm able to breach that space because of meditation, I'm able to go into those spaces. I'm able to have conversations, and I don't know who it is. I don't know. It doesn't have a different type of voice, but it definitely feels different. So what's next? I mean, I would love to, I'm still on the path of trying to understand why these things are happening.
Which is sort of the ultimate mystery.
I think so.
Right? I mean,
I
might not ever.
I might not ever
know why, but it's gotten you far.
It's gotten me far, and I think
the
that's
line of questioning.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's the next part. I think, I think the next part is true remote viewing. I've done a little bit of it. I've found myself in spaces, but I haven't been able to be intentional about it.
Okay.
So I haven't been able to say, I want to see this space, and I find myself in this space. So it's still a little random where all of a sudden I'll find myself and I know that I'm looking in on something real.
Okay. Have you done anything with lucid dreaming?
No, I haven't.
Intentional lucid dreaming. So
I'm a little afraid of that.
Interesting.
I read a lot of Carlos Castaneda, and I think that has put a little bit of
I worked with a beautiful woman who's going to be on the show eventually next year. She's tied up this year, but Araminta Barber lives
I'll
down.
Look her up.
She lives down in Guatemala, and she teaches courses in lucid dreaming.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll look her up.
Yeah, I'll send you the info.
Perfect.
And then there's the Travels Outside of the Body by Monroe. From the founder of the Monroe Institute.
Yeah.
Which I think with you, I think with your innate abilities, there's nothing to fear because they give you the tools. It's basically you set up ahead of time like a talisman. Like I know if I see the Diet Sprite on the counter, I'll know I'm dreaming.
Oh, interesting.
And so then when you see the diet, okay, this is a dream, and then you can begin to control. Now I haven't done it. I'm speaking from reading the book.
Okay.
Or you say, somebody's gonna be wearing a purple ring on their third finger.
Well,
and then I know I'm dreaming.
So maybe this is a bit serendipitous because I'm in a space, Matt, where, so of March this year, I actually went in and I specifically asked, I'm like, please, I need some guidance of what's the next step? What is all of this? I've been traversing these spaces. I've been able to do things with these spaces. What is the overall goal? Like, what am I doing here? And the voice said, you have a lifetime to figure it out. Yeah, I know. So I was like,
I hate that answer.
Really? Okay. So actually, I just remember that moment of, fine, I'll take a lifetime to figure it out then. But yeah, so maybe this is a bit of I almost put that question on hold since then, but it has been popping up more and more. So maybe this is kind of the next the next space to.
Yeah, everybody wants to find their purpose, right? And
Yes.
And I love the, Paul Selig's guides, and the teaching is like, I know how I serve. I serve in this body as this being.
Yeah.
That is our service.
Yeah.
Like anything above that is gravy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to look for your purpose. It will find you.
It will find you.
And you're serving simply by being. You're serving your soul.
Yeah.
Because you're learning all kinds of lessons that you can't learn when you float around there up in the nothingness, from contentment on up. It's all just fun, right? I mean, it's like I was talking to somebody that, I just wish I did yoga all the time. I said, but if you did yoga on the beach all the time, you'd be tired of doing yoga on the beach all the time. I mean, we're here for all of the different things, all of it. As much as it sucks sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that
So I was just curious. I wasn't like trying to push, like you need to do something to this. I was just sort of curious of where
this has been. I think this whole year has been an exploration of. So what's the actual next step? And I mean, Matt, I have had visions on being able to teleport. I've had visions on, so there's, again, and it's funny because I'm talking to you and there's like, oh, okay, no, I'm in a safe space of saying these things. But there's definitely, when I say that, there's this hitch of, oh God, everybody's just going to think I'm crazy.
No, I mean, no, this stuff that I read, I mean, I don't know when it will happen, but people like Maharaji Ramdas, this guy, he teleported. He would co-located.
Yes.
Sai Baba would conjure gold out of thin air.
Yeah.
These are all, beings on this, look at Jesus Christ, like Yeshua, right?
Yeah.
You to strip away all of the religious things from him. He was a being who was at a very, very high vibration. And I talked about this with Laura's guides 2 episodes ago. Who was trying to show us it's possible for us as humans.
Yeah.
And we all hear about the vibration, about the change, about the new earth, and it's just, I'm like you. I'm like, when?
Yes.
What do I got to do? What do I got to do?
Okay. All right. What's the step by step again? Tell me how do I? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so I think as far out as it probably sounds to a lot of you listening, these things are coming. Maybe not within our lifetime. I don't know.
But yeah, something is definitely, so actually maybe that is how so whether it's the remote viewing leads to actual transplantation of physical self, right? But yeah, I've had moments where I've seen it and and I've had moments where I've seen myself walk by me and it's so surreal.
Interesting.
It's happened twice now.
Wow.
And I'm like, did I teleport? What's happening here? Or is this like a timeline shift? Or is this a...
Right.
Yeah. So...
I've had once or twice, I've had like Russian nesting dolls, dreams within dreams within dreams.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I've woke and then I woke again and then I woke again. And like they say, it's all a dream. This whole thing is a dream.
It is. Well, whatever happening right now, I'm getting super dizzy. So
are you really?
I am.
That's
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's almost like.
Yeah, I feel it's a little.
It's a little wooey in here.
It's a little floaty.
For sure.
Maybe the thermostat just needs to be turned down.
Yeah.
So what's your advice to somebody who's interested or struggling? Let's say, interested or struggling with life, because we tend to.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
I think, gosh, where do you start? It's such a... Okay. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dispenza is such a phenomenal book.
Beautiful.
It really, truly is the bones of... You are creating your own reality and you can start creating the reality that you want. Mm-hmm. It is such a great book. And really, Again, I mean, I know meditation can be hard, but just think of it as like, you get to lie down for 10 minutes and it's good for you. And it's like, it
doesn't have to be like, I tend to go hardcore. I go for Zen. I go for Vipassana. I go for,
no, close
my eyes.
Yeah. And it's got to be, right.
It's got to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. And yeah, I mean, gosh, if you want to play the Sandra Ingerman book, Visioning is just, it's so fun. Mm-hmm. It's such a fun way of like starting to getting into like the space of there's something else.
Yeah. And the sound is very powerful. The shamanic drumming. I mean, there's a reason that we've been doing that for thousands of years.
Yeah. And it's so cool that shamanism has, through all cultures, whether it's they found it in
Siberia,
right? Exactly, right. As well as in Mexico or
Iceland,
in Russia
or
right. I mean, it's so it's throughout the entire world is these roots of shamanism. So it's a cool. I mean, it definitely. Just go for it. I was gonna say. It's not a beginner, but really, honestly, just if that's calling to you, go for it.
Yeah. Pick up a drum track from Ingerman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually registered in April for a shamanic de-armoring, a 2-week retreat. That's a really deep dive into energetic de-armoring. I can't
wait to hear how that goes.
Through sexuality. So that'll be
interesting.
Yeah. The shamanic path is definitely a strong one for me.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that going on that you have no idea is actually going on.
No, I think that's the other kind of beautiful thing is really maybe just also letting go of the fact of like, I don't know that we're going to know what's going on.
Right. It's a mystery.
It is. It's a mystery. But yeah, I think those of just if for listeners that are trying to find kind of some peace and or just some understanding, those 2 books are phenomenal. The Energy Cure by Bill Bankston is such an interesting read. And then if you want, there's people that meet and do cycling. There's groups all over that kind of meet and do that.
Follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I think that's right. Follow the breadcrumbs. Oh, and really, truly follow your weird.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's actually, I think the other hard part about manifesting is when we think we want somebody else's life or we think we want things that other people have.
Yeah.
And so when you really follow your weird, like, oh no, I would want to experience this, and I know that nobody else would. Right. Nobody else would.
Shamanic de-armoring.
Right.
Like who wants to?
You do.
Go
and
be
you're
naked.
So excited.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks with strangers.
And that are like drumming and
vibrating.
Right.
Yeah. Who even knows what the hell is going to happen?
Right.
But
But you do, and you're so excited.
I'm jazzed about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so follow that. Like for the listeners that like follow your weird.
Yeah.
Follow.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
It's a new bumper sticker.
Totally.
And if it's on my car, then they're definitely following the weird.
Yeah. It's when my life really shifted is when I really said yes and started going into, and I followed my weird. Yeah.
And here you are. Well, thanks, Dom.
Oh my gosh.
So
thanks.
Fun.
Yeah, this was great.
I love doing these in person too. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah.
All
thanks
right.
for having me.